Let's talk past lives. Let's talk about past lives and why they are so important when it comes to healing, and why it's so important when you do find out what one of your past lives are. And we're going to get to how do you do that in this video as well. It's incredibly healing. So let me tell you a quick story. And here's the thing, I've always been fascinated by past lives. I've always had a very deep connection with God. I've always known as a kid that we were here to learn, that we're here on earth school. Always knew that, and had a deep relationship with God. And I also knew that there was like no death of the soul, no death, no birth. And I'm sure in certain instances, the soul does go away. And I do believe that sometimes the soul's just, you've lost chances. Like if you're going to keep coming back, be destructive again and again and harmful, I do believe there is an end. But that is my personal belief system, because you cannot keep coming back again and again and creating destruction. However, most of us have a cycle where we're born again and die, and then we learn and we continue to elevate and go up as we learn. And this is why it's so important to do your work now. So many people, you'll hear people say, I don't want to come back and do this all over again. I want to learn what I need to learn now. And part of that includes past lives, because what is still in your karmic thread, not eye for eye karma, karmic thread, your karmic being, your soul being, you carry with you into this lifetime if you haven't worked through it. So let me tell you a quick story and I'll give you an example. So a few months ago, someone came to our house. He came here to remove, we thought we had a rattlesnake in our backyard, but we didn't. It ended up being a gopher snake. And so anyway, I've only seen this person one time. It was that one time. And he was very well spoken. I was super interested in the work he does. They are so good with snakes, and they're such leaders in the community. And my zip code 85331 in Cave Creek, Arizona, has the highest number of rattlesnakes in the country. We have so many rattlesnakes here. So they're really doing a service with people, because the wildlife and human conflict it's real here. It's very real. And here's the thing, people, there's no deaths. There hasn't been a death from a rattlesnake bite in a very long time, because we have a way to, the dogs have died, but people, they know how to deal with it here in Arizona. Anyway, I digress. So he came here and there was a familiarity about him. And so months went by, and even my husband could feel it too. There was like an energy. I didn't talk to him before. There was a couple of messages I have with him on Facebook around snakes and things like that. And just stuff around what he's doing. But that's it. That's it. And I promote his business when I can. But he was like, there's a part of him that was like, I was thinking about him even when I didn't want to think about him. And it wasn't like sexy thoughts or anything like that. It was an energy. It was like in my energetic field. And I knew he was in my energetic field. And I knew that there was a familiarity. So of course I was like, there's got to be a past life connection. And here's what I'd like to say is, many of us have had past life connections with the people in our life. We do. Like we keep coming back again and again, often together. Sometimes you're creating new karma with new people, but oftentimes, especially our family, we've done the dance before with them. And then once in a while you'll meet someone and there's this familiarity, and it's like, I really need to pay attention to this, because there's got to be a soul connection. So it turns out I did a meditation, a regression, and my guides took me back and showed me what my connection was with him. And what it was we were in the same tribe together. Actually, I'm not really clear about that. He might have been in a tribe next to me or close to us. Anyway, I was being raped in the in like this desert. It was like desert terrain, and it was like a kind of like a ditch, kind of like a dry creek bed, and I was being raped by someone, and he saved me. He saved me. He was the person who saved me. And we developed this very deep friendship and bond after that happened. Actually, I do think he was in my tribe. And so that alone, by knowing this, I'm going to tell you the healing part of this, by knowing this information and knowing that makes sense. This is why I'm so familiar to him and he's so familiar to me. We know this on a soul level. We've been very close in another lifetime and trauma bonded, right? Like it was definitely a trauma bond. And but here's the beautiful thing: if I had not met him and had not had him come out here and attempt to remove what we thought was a rattlesnake, I would have never uncovered, maybe not never, but who knows, uncovered this past life, which is so crucial to my relationship, to my sexual healing. So I did all this deep work, and it really, it healed a lot on my being. So that is an example right there of doing this work, like the regression work. And that's how most people get to past life work. Sometimes you can do it in plant medicine, but I don't teach plant medicine. I teach regression therapy. I take people through regression and hypnosis. And that's how I do it on myself as well. But here is the brilliant thing. It's not about being a past life voyeur, like, oh, I just want to see what happened. Was I a king and queen? Those are very incredibly rare, very rare. Most of us were just ordinary, everyday citizens. But it is incredibly valuable to track if you have body pain that won't go away or is mysterious, ongoing depression, anxiety, fears that you're just like, I don't know where they've come from. You had addiction, or these things in your thread, in your being, that you're like, I don't know how to shift this. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know how to shift it. A lot of my sexual trauma, like I know I have sexual trauma in this life, but there's obviously some in other lives. And I have seen people heal chronic pain by going back to a past life and seeing, oh, this started in this lifetime where I was in this accident and I lost my leg, and this is why I have chronic leg pain. And then we go back and we do the healing work, the soul work, the soul retrieval work, the power retrieval work, the soul work on a soul level. And oftentimes people get better. More often than not, people get better. People have had like miraculous healing by going back and understanding what's going on in that life that bridges the gap of this life. And it's not so much like the story is always really interesting, like, oh, this is the story of your past life. The story is always interesting, but it's more of the energetic thread. We're looking for a commonality. How does this lifetime, how is it being, that one playing out in this lifetime? And how is it affecting you today? And what is the healing needed to heal so your soul can release that timeline and that imprint once and for all, be completely done with it and move on. Miracle. I've been doing this work for 20 years. I've literally seen people like go through miracles, releasing past lives, healing, not releasing, but healing past lives. So if you're at all curious, just start thinking about things that may be like, no matter if you have this, like, no matter what I do, I can't shift it. Story, no matter what I do, this is a mystery. I don't know where this comes from. I don't know why I have this anger. I don't know why this is happening. Or I'm really curious about my relationship to my son or my daughter or my husband, partner. What's our karma? All of that is so valuable in elevating your power, your light, and moving yourself forward in this lifetime. Moving yourself forward in this lifetime. And when you meet someone and you feel that connection, then finding a practitioner. I might be teaching a class on this soon. If you're interested in it, I'm going to take a few people and teach you how to do regressions for yourself and other people. But just start paying attention, because like I said, the work can be incredibly miraculous and really clear up things that you feel like you haven't been able to clear up, and get clarity on certain relationships. So helpful. It's so helpful. And, people always like, oh, did I make that up? You know what? The story doesn't matter, right? The story doesn't matter. Like I said, the story is interesting. What matters is if you go back and you made it up, who cares? We're looking for the energy. We're looking for the bridge. We're looking for the bridge to heal. We're tracking the energy so that you can heal and move on from what is going on currently in this life. It's so helpful and so healing. Because I know if you follow me and you've been watching my videos, there's a part of you that knows that you're meant for more and you're ready to not do this game and the suffering that you've had in this life. And everybody's had some level of suffering and learning. Everyone, that's why we're here. And you're like, you know what? I want to elevate. I want to go to that next level. And it may be on earth, or it may be becoming another, 5D, 6D, 7D multidimensional being, whatever your next plane is. But we're not going to move on unless we move through these threads. And past life work, regression work is part of that. All right, my name is Beth Osmer, and I hope this supported you, and I will see you on the next one.